Champions, the Los Angeles Rams. As I've been all year long with Charles Davis, I'm Brandon Gaudin. And CD, this has been brewing for a few years now, but the Bills are finally over the hump and back in the Super Bowl.
And as everyone in the Bills Mafia would tell you in a heartbeat, looking to win it for the first time ever. Remember, they went to 4 straight in the 90s, couldn't get the job done, but as you have said, they've been on the climb the last few seasons, and here they are, ready to close the deal.
Meanwhile, for the Rams, what a topsy-turvy last few years it's been. From Super Bowl champs 2 years ago to 5-12 last year, and now back to the big game, looking to make it 2 wins in 3 seasons.
A few wild swings in there, but found their equilibrium as this season went on to get themselves back to the Super Bowl. Remember the first one they won? Big-time free agent acquisitions. This one will be defined by their roster in a big-time draft.
So out come the Rams now for their first possession. They'll be led out by a former Pro Bowl quarterback out of the University of Georgia, Matthew Stafford.
As we begin the Super Bowl, we're looking at one of the game's most important players. And whether he's the centerpiece of the offense or taking a backseat to his teammates, offenses always look to the quarterback to be a leader in moments like this. He's got to be that calm, composed pillar out there who stays level-headed and keeps everyone focused on the task at hand.
And he'll have this past the 30 prior to going out of bounds. And it appears we've got a member of the Rams shaken up on that. We'll take a break and get a report from Vegas after this. Line of scrimmage, the 31 now on 1st and 10. They'll go again here with Akers. And he'll bring it up here to right at the 40-yard line. This Super Bowl, of course, just a huge one for this head coach. The first time he's walked the sidelines in a game of this magnitude. And I might normally ask the cliche, what's going through his mind right now? But maybe the better question, CD, what do you think are the pitfalls of being a first-time head coach in this game?
Well, you know it's something that he thought about, Brandon, and he had to. And he was thinking about it long before he got to this stage. As the season progressed and he saw that his team was good, if he was smart, he started to make plans right then and there. Reach out to other coaches who've been there before. Find out how they handle winning, losing, handling all the ticket situations, travel, practice, all those things. And then trust your gut, make your best decision, and put it all out there and give your team their best chance to win.
Oh, no, his first throw of the Super Bowl is intercepted. Picked up by Deion Jones, the linebacker. And he's going to score. It's a pick six and a Bills touchdown. To Tyler Bass on for the extra point attempt. And his kick is good, but flags come in. Looks like we're going to get a roughing call here on the follow-through.
Roughing the kicker. Defense.
And they'll accept that penalty. So they'll get another shot on offense following that pick six. And now the kick is away. And this will not be returnable. It's out of the back of the end zone for a touchback. The offense for Los Angeles returns to the field. They trail early on in this Super Bowl as they come up 1st and 10. They'll begin on the ground with Akers. And not a whole lot of room to operate there on the first down run. He gets maybe 3. As you see, they have dealt with their fair share of injuries this season. But, Charles, that hasn't stopped them from putting together a very solid campaign, a very good record thus far.
I think a lot of credit has to go internally. Look, we always want to praise the head coach for holding the team together. But to me, it's the guys in the locker room putting on the uniform. Those starters who've stayed healthy, they've welcomed the backups into their ranks and showed them how to get it done. And this team, they've stayed afloat all season doing just that.
They head to the line facing a 3rd and 7 following the incompletion on 2nd down. Here's Stafford. He's going to look deep now for Landry. That's caught at the 25. Touchdown, LA! Jarvis Landry, 72 yards. And the Rams are an extra point away from tying up this Super Bowl. And that time, he came out of the slot for that big play downfield for the score.
I think what we just saw there, partner, is what we call scheming a guy open. Put him in the slot, know that he has tremendous speed. What you're doing with your other receivers is likely running shorter routes to draw the attention closer to the line of scrimmage, to give him a chance to get downfield and turn it into a one-on-one route. Often against the safety, you like your odds when he's running against the safety. His speed usually wins, and it did on that play.
So all even at 7 now as they kick it away. And from the end zone, Deontay Hardy will bring it out. And only able to get this to the 19, so probably should have opted for the touchback. Out comes the offense for the Bills, led by their quarterback at 6'5". That's Josh Allen.
And no doubt he's living out a dream right now. He's had dating back to his first days of playing football as a kid. But he certainly can't get lost in the moment right now. There's still a Super Bowl to be played, and his offense, they're looking to him to be their leader. He can take it all in when it's over. Right now, you've got the biggest game of your life to win.
Aaron Donald. Credit him with a sack as he buries him for a loss of 10. Well, the very first thing they told us, Charles, was we need to apply pressure early, and I would call that early pressure a nice sack to start the game.
And on the other sideline, I just have this image in my mind of the head coach on the headset with the offensive coordinator asking him if...
And this turns into disaster. He's not going to get forward progress. That'll be a safety.
All right, partner, deuce is wild on this sequence. 2 plays, 2 sacks, and now 2 points thanks to the safety. Offensively, there just didn't seem to be much of a plan when they came out on attack. That let the defense create a little chaos up front and set up one of their guys to make a play and get through and record the sack.
After the safety, remember, they also need to give up the football, and here's the free kick. Now Cobb to return. And now out on the field, here comes Los Angeles. This drive here beginning probably with a pair of motivated groups. Remember, the offense scored a touchdown on their last time out. Looking to repeat that in Charles's defense. They were very frustrated after giving up 6 the last time on the field.
And frankly, it's just a battle of wills in a lot of ways because you know they're both motivated. They both game plan for this drive, and they both have specific outcomes in mind. To me, it just comes down to who can execute better and which side can step up and assert its will over the other.
Here's a run with Akers on 2nd down. And nowhere to run on the interior of that defensive line. He'll get back only to the line of scrimmage. Officially nothing on that one, no gain, so they're left with still 10 to go on 3rd down. From the gun, here's Stafford. Going deep here for Landry. And it's knocked away and incomplete.
Zone coverage there, and they were playing deep. That makes it obviously a little bit harder to run by guys. And that time, there's not much of a window to get the ball in there, and it winds up incomplete.
On the return, Hardy. They'll net only 35 here following a 43-yard boot, 8-yard return. And the Bills will take over the football with a 1st and 10. Line of scrimmage, the 31 now on 1st and 10. Allen going to fire quickly and get it to Diggs out wide. And they'll get it up just short of the 45 at the 44. Now a stoppage here as we've got a Bill shaken up on the play. We'll take a break and get a report from Vegas after this. They run. First carry for Damian Harris. And he'll be taken down just shy of midfield. Jordan Fuller there to take him down. Here's a 2nd and 5. To throw, it's Allen. Big loss here as he's taken down. Myles Jack able to get in there and run him down for what's going to be a loss of 15 yards all told. And that is the third sack this offensive line has allowed this first quarter.
Yeah, that puts him on pace. Let me do the rudimentary math here. To be sacked 12 times in a game, I know he's not going to go for that. I wonder if it's going to reshape what they decide to do on offense in terms of play calling.
Well, I can tell you what, when he popped up, and pressure coming, and they got him once again. It'll be a loss of 8 on the sack, and it's going to lead him to fourth down. On fourth down, here's Sam Martin on to kick it away. Back deep, Jarvis Landry. This is fielded at the 27. So possession goes over here on the punt. And the Rams will go on offense here with a 1st and 10. Here's the Los Angeles offense as they get set to take possession.
And Charles, a very uninspired effort. The last time we saw them out there was a quick 3-and-out, and they punted the football.
Yeah, and you never want to get stopped so soundly during a series, but what would be even worse now is letting it happen again right here. They've got to get going.
And he'll go out near midfield at the 49. Now a stoppage here as we've got a bill shaken up on the play. We'll take a break and get a report from Vegas after this. They'll run on 1st down with Akers. And that one blown up quickly as he's going to be stopped before he could even get started. Call it a full 3 yards in the wrong direction there. Brings up 2nd down. Now Stafford. Eluding the pressure right. And on the left sideline, he caught it, but out of bounds, according to the head linesman. Incomplete, so the ball a little late getting there, and it's 3rd down. An incomplete pass on that last play, and that means they'll need to come up with something here on 3rd down. Throwing is Stafford. And he backs it away, and it falls down incomplete.
That's all, folks. Good work by this defense to hold things in check and force a punting situation.
His first punt, 45 yards. This looks good as well. And that hits at the 6 and carries into the end zone for a touchback. Here's the Buffalo offense now as they get set to take over here. They trailed early on in this Super Bowl as they come up 1st and 10. The drive starts with a completion left side. So the completion good for 6 yards. And it's 2nd down.
I know sometimes we can get fooled when we watch him make catches, as we just saw him do there, because he really looks like a wide receiver the way he goes about his business.
Yeah, 230, 240 range.
Yeah, not super huge. Maybe not counted on to be that inline point-of-attack blocker that we used to have in the good old days. But you can flex him out. You can run wide receiver routes with him. You can make him a prime.
And we are back and ready to go for the 2nd quarter of the Super Bowl. Brandon Gaudin, Charles Davis, as always, thrilled to be with you. Thanks for tuning in, everyone.
On 2nd down, this is Harris. And he's able to get out to the 32, brought down there. 6 yards the pickup, and that's a 1st down. Here's Allen to throw it. And this will be incomplete. Physical play on the football there, and it's 2nd down.
One thing you have to see out of a rookie tight end is a real concentration when the ball's in the air, and I'm not sure that he didn't, but he has to be prepared for people making a play on it when that ball's up for grabs.
Allen throwing left sideline there, but it's incomplete.
So many times we've seen him try to escape the pocket and do something with his legs, but in this case, the pressure was too intense, and he made the wise choice to just get rid of the football and make sure no one was going to get it.
That's into a crowd and intercepted.
And this return is going to be halted right around the 28-yard line.
And I think this is a situation where quarterback coach in the sideline is going to talk to a signal caller and say, listen, it's 3rd and long and it's still early in the game. Let's not force things here. If we don't feel good about it, let's just check something down and punt the football.
And the Rams getting...
And they'll have good field position here following the interception and a chance to build on their lead as they start with a 1st and 10. Stafford going to give this to Akers. Nifty move. And finally down he goes as they work it inside the 10 to the 7. 56 yards rushing for him now in the first half of this Super Bowl.
He had his eyes on the end zone once he hit the secondary, but they're finally able to slow him down.
Yeah, and I've got to look at this one from the defensive point of view. You just mentioned finally able to slow him down. They've got to figure out a way to make that at the point of attack, at the line of scrimmage, because once he gets through, he's shredding them.
And a minuscule gain of maybe a yard from the 6 to the 5.
Now, during that run, an injury here. We got one of those big blockers in some discomfort. We'll take a break and get a report from Vegas after this.
On 2nd down, here's Stafford. Flush to his right. And he takes a shot on the release as this will be incomplete.
Third and goal, a big play in this Super Bowl.
And here comes throw number 1 for the backup QB. Escaping the pressure right.
And that is incomplete. But the pressure there on 3rd down, forcing the errant pass. 4th down coming up.
And his kick is good. And that will push the lead up to 12-7.
So, Charles, they get to them with their first turnover of the game and then make it hurt a little bit extra with a field goal.
And anytime you give the ball up, what's the first thing a coach tells his defense? Don't let them score off of this. You've got to put out the fire. In fact, in 2021, that's what one NFL coach termed his defense. The firemen. Go out there, guys, and don't let them put some points on the board.
And there will not be a return here. It's a touchback, and it'll come out to the 25-yard line. Back now on offense, the Buffalo Bills. And we'll see if they can bounce back from that last drive. In particular, if they can bounce back at the quarterback position, Charles, after throwing their first interception of the ball game.
Yeah, some guys, you know they're going to want to try and get a big play right away and take control back. Others, they're going to want to look to hit a couple shorter passes, get a little momentum back that way.
But for the defense, that goal's not changing a bit. They want another pick.
You're exactly right about that. In fact, you've got to watch them a little bit because in coverage, they may cut down their gaps a little bit, maybe their splits a little bit in order to try and get to the ball even faster.
2 minutes gone by, 2nd quarter. On 1st down, Allen
has his man. It's Shakir.
And able to break one tackle, but then quickly brought down. But a nice little gain.
This 2nd and 4.
Harris running straight ahead. And he is going to be stopped cold behind the line of scrimmage. Call that a loss of a yard, and things get a little more difficult here. 3rd and 5.
Defensively, he has been a presence in their backfield in the first half. Had a sack earlier, and now he comes up with a big tackle for a loss.
Now Allen. And his early struggles continue. Here's another one intercepted.
And the return this time will go out to the 42-yard line.
So a nice play defensively by the rookie coming up with the INT.
And that's a late-round pick right there, making a first-round impact. And a lot of these day 3 corners, they end up winding up on special teams and sub-packages and even on the practice squad. But he's really made an impact on this defense, and he comes up with the interception there.
They'll go with Akers here up the middle.
This will be stopped about 2 yards shy of the marker. 8-yard gain, 2nd and 2.
First play of the drive, let's give credit all around. Excellent blocking, but the guy carrying the ball, he was the finisher. A really nice run.
2nd down, they'll go with Akers again.
They juked him.
And an excellent job of finding the opening as he's got this now all the way down to the 22. 77 yards for him on the ground so far tonight as he has been terrific in this first half. They'll toss this right side to Cam Akers.
And this time they were ready for him as they'll stop him right at the line of scrimmage.
Holding offense.
So they accept the penalty, of course, and push the offense backwards a bit.
So following the hold, they're in a bit of a hole here with a 1st and 20.
Going right back to Akers.
They'll get it to the 23-yard line. 9 big yards on the carry there, and it'll be 2nd down.
Good yardage there on 1st down. Exactly what you want. Get yourself set up to keep making 1st downs, keep the clock running. And if they're smart, you're starting to milk the clock. No hurry before you run your 2nd down play.
2 minutes on the clock in the 2nd quarter of this Super Bowl. Now they'll look to throw with Bennett.
Flushed out right. Throwing the out route incomplete. It's Cobb. It'll be a gain of 5. And now 3rd down and 6 to go.
They are in need of 6 yards here if they hope to move the chains.
The Rams going to go ahead and use the first of their timeouts as they'll talk it over here before what will be an important 3rd down.
Bennett working from the gun. Oh, he tries to force it in, and it's intercepted.
Tre'Davious White with a pick. And he is going to score. It's a pick 6 and a Bills touchdown.
Well, this defense, they've been terrific all year, and they come through with a pick 6 here on the game's biggest stage.
Perfect descriptor there because this defense, their ability to take the ball away from teams, they definitely have a nose for the football, and it pays off again on that play.
Extra point by Bass, up and good.
And the lead is now 2. So the defense creating some points, not only getting the interception, but then returning it to the end zone for the pick 6.
And a good return as he'll be stopped just shy of the 30-yard line. Cam Akers and the Rams offense ready to go back to work.
Now he's having himself a little bit of a banner game. His team right now, though, losing.
Needs a little bit of help, and I kind of equate it to a basketball game where you have the big score, and sometimes your strategy is, okay, he can go and have all of his points. Let's hold down everyone else, and that's the way you win the game. And right now, he needs everyone else to start scoring, quote-unquote, as he's been.
Yeah, and he's hoping to keep it close so maybe they can keep it on the ground. He's got a man, complete. And he'll go out near midfield at the 49. A very nice pickup of 33 yards. The big play has him all the way out near midfield for a 1st and 10.
Back to throw, Bennett. That's out to the flat for Akers.
Clock continuing to roll as the Rams try to get going again. Now the Rams will signal for a timeout, their 2nd, as the clock will stop with 18 seconds to go in the first half.
To throw is Bennett.
And he knocks the ball away, and it falls incomplete.
Well, they had that one snipped out defensively. That's a tough one to connect on when you've got multiple defenders in the area, and it winds up incomplete.
So after the 2nd down incompletion, they'll come up now against a 3rd and 6.
It's Bennett going to have another throw here.
eluding the pressure right. And he'll be out just a yard or two shy of the 30. A nice job there on the escape and scramble. A first down, a 16-yard gain.
I haven't met a quarterback yet that didn't enter the league with a massive chip on his shoulder if he wasn't a first-round pick. They want to show the league that they made a big mistake. Determined to get the first down there, no hesitation at all to tuck it and go. I bet he would have tried running through their entire defense if it meant reaching that marker.
So a big play before the end of the half to get him into this spot, and they cash in with 3.
How about the 1-2 to the solar plexus on that one? The big play, the field goal, not much time left on the clock. That's the way to go into the half.
And the Bills are going to recover. So we've come upon halftime in the big one, the Super Bowl. As we send you to our EA studios in Orlando, here's Jonathan Coachman with our EA Sports Halftime Report.
Okay, Brandon, thanks very much. What a season this has been. Hard to believe it ends tonight, as we'll get back to you guys for the second half of this Super Bowl in just a moment. It's been a tremendous season from beginning to end, and now we'll play one half of football to decide who raises the Lombardi Trophy. And for the call, let's get it right back to Brandon and Charles. Both teams making their final adjustments of the season during this long halftime break. Who will claim the Lombardi Trophy? To find out, we go back to Brandon and Charles in Vegas for the second half of Super Bowl 58.
And the half will begin with a touchback. The Bills offense set to take over to begin quarter number 3. And they trail here in the Super Bowl, but fortunately for them, Charles, very much still within striking range.
Yeah, things didn't go exactly the way they planned in the first half. To me, they appeared to be a little bit tight, made a few errors that normally wouldn't. But, of course, this is the Super Bowl, so things get a little bit heightened in that regard. But I think they have to feel a little fortunate. They're only down what they are here starting the third quarter.
That pass complete to Deontay Hardy. His first catch of this Super Bowl, and it'll be good for a first down. Was that a design pass, or what was that?
It was built into the play call. He had the opportunity to either hand it inside, keep it himself to run it, or do what he just did. Throw that pass inside, hitting a receiver on the run.
Allen now on first down. He's got the connection over the middle to Diggs. And they'll get this well past midfield before being stopped just before the 35. 23 yards, the final tally. Throwing now is Allen. To the right side here, caught by Kincaid. And they're going to be set up down around the 15-yard line. That's now a pair of explosive plays in succession, both north of 20 yards. Operating from the red zone now. Allen. This will be caught just inside the 10. Yeah, that's good for a gain of 6, and that'll make it second down. They hand this off to Harris. He pushes forward for maybe 3 down to the 6-yard line.
I have to think a major focus of the halftime meetings had to be figuring out how to create space for the running game to get operating.
Well, what you pointed out to me at half seems accurate. That line has struggled to sustain blocks. He will find Diggs in the end zone. Touchdown, Buffalo. It's a 6-yard touchdown pass. And the Bills have regained the lead in the second half of this Super Bowl. Well, it was 3rd and 1. I was expecting runs, so much for that. They pass it, they score it.
That had the feel of the head coach telling the offensive coordinator, you've got 4 downs here. We're going to go for it on 4th down unless there's a disaster on 3rd. Go ahead and take a shot if you want to. And he gratefully accepted the opportunity and did exactly that. If they didn't get it there, that had the feel that they would come back and try it on 4th down.
And we'll see a return here from the end zone. And ultimately cannot get this out to the 25-yard line as he's dropped at the 23. Now the attention turns back to the Rams offense as they get ready for their first possession of the second half.
And Charles, it feels like we're set up for a good second half here. Came out of the locker room, one-score game. Now the lead has already changed hands. Well, this offense, they've got an opportunity right now to take that lead right back.
Yeah, and it feels like you're going back and forth, almost a little bit like a tennis match, right? And we're just, our heads just keep moving. Which side has it? Which side's going to score? How are they going to go out doing it? A little bit of a challenge for each side, trying to match each other.
A second down pass play there, but it's incomplete.
A lot of times it's that first read that you have. Maybe you get it in pre-snap, and he locked in on his target, but he was covered quite well, and that one's incomplete.
Throwing here on third. Bennett flush to his right. To the right side, and he's got Landry. Complete. And he gets this up across the 35 before he's out of bounds. His second catch of the Super Bowl, and it's good enough for a first down. Now a give. Akers running left. And now the ball's out. Fumble near midfield. But this will fortunately wind up out of bounds.
I don't know about you, but I could hear and feel the sigh of relief all the way up here in our booth.
That was palpable. The sideline, the friend there.
No doubt about it. Ball goes over the sideline, able to retain possession, no turnover. And those coaches are screaming, just hang on to the ball, man.
And he'll be out of bounds just shy of the 40. 10 more there and another first down. On the handoff, running left is Akers. And maybe a measure of revenge there. He's had his way in this one, but this time they get him behind the line. Now they contend with a 2nd and 12 after the loss. Bennett looking to throw. Throw left side, taken in by Jefferson. And he'll go out of bounds after taking it a little further down inside the 40. Call it a gain of 6 on the play, and it brings up 3rd and 5 now. And Bennett will look to throw. Escaping the pressure right. And incomplete on the deep ball.
When you're running the slant, timing is everything, and against that man coverage, there was no space available, and incompletion as a result.
Boy, a call like this, certainly tougher to make in a Super Bowl, but they'll go for it on 4th down. They'll go for it. Here's Bennett. Short throw, it's Higbee. And unable to break away. They stop him a few yards shy. No luck for the Rams as they fail here on 4th down. And the Bills are going to get the football back. Buffalo offense ready to go for their next drive. And they'll be looking to build off of a nice drive last time, a drive that really relied on the quarterback.
Making good decisions, distributing the ball well, distributing it accurately, keeping it away from danger. A really nicely run drive.
But now the defense, what adjustments do they need to make in the passing game?
Pass rush, pass rush, pass rush. Whether it's the guys up front or maybe you bring additional guys, but you've got to disrupt the timing of them throwing the football.
And we'll see if they can disrupt it here. They try to throw on 2nd down, but this one is incomplete.
And this drive was almost over before it began, thanks to a great defensive effort. Sack on 1st down, followed by an incompletion, one more good rep, and they get off the field.
Now on 3rd and long, they'll look to throw. And Allen going to be intercepted for the 3rd time.
Partner, I think this will want to ride very simply because he overestimated his arm strength and his ability to fit it anywhere he wants to. A lot of quarterbacks do that and often pay the price.
So here's a 1st and 10 at the 38. A give up the middle to Akers. And nothing much materializing there on the 1st down run. He'll get a couple, and that's it. We are through 3 quarters of play here from Allegiant Stadium. And we're back in the Super Bowl. Time to decide who gets to hoist that Lombardi Trophy as we begin the 4th and final quarter of action. On 2nd down, Bennett to throw. And on the left sideline, he caught it, but out of bounds, according to the head linesman. Incomplete, so the ball a little late getting there, and it's... The Rams on third down. They've converted 3 times in 8 chances. This is 3rd and 8. Looking to throw here. Bennett. He's got his target. That's complete. Touchdown, LA! Jarvis Landry, his 2nd touchdown of this Super Bowl. And the Rams have moved out in front. It's a run with Akers. And he'll get into the end zone. So now a field goal would only tie as they up their lead to 3. Brown now to kick it away after the touchdown. No run back here, down to a knee, and this drive will start at the 25. The Bills offense now, they get set to head back onto the field. And this could become a career-defining drive for some. Down 3, 4th quarter of the Super Bowl. This is where the legends are made in the National Football League as they begin this drive 1st and 10. 2 yards on the pickup there. It'll be 2nd and 8. On play action, Allen, rush coming, and he's taken down. Aaron Donald able to drop him that time for his 2nd sack of the evening.
How about that, partner? His 2nd sack of the game, and that puts him in some pretty good company. 17 guys have had 2 sacks in the previous 52 Super Bowls, but only 3 have had the record number of 3 sacks in this game.
And we've got the list here. If he gets another one and everyone behaves nicely, we might just list those out for him. Now throwing on 3rd down there, but he cannot connect.
Well, how about the coverage we just saw him break out on 3rd down? Dime defense, blanketed the field with extra defensive backs and speed, unable to find an open hole to complete that pass.
It's a return of 5 following a punt of 42 yards. And they will take over 1st and 10. A chance for us here to discuss Jarvis Landry. And I know that they've double-teamed him a couple times, but not a ton. Whatever they're doing isn't working. He's up over 100 yards. We'll see how they adjust.
And when they do that, they weaken their defense in other places as well. And how many times have we done games where we've seen a guy have a big game like this? But it's usually not by himself, is it? Right. Usually it opens it up for other people to have big games as well.
From the 46, here's 2nd down and 5. They'll run this with Akers. And he'll take it across midfield and into Buffalo territory. After a gain of 5, they'll wind up being about a length of the football short here on 3rd down. Well, with the fumble he had earlier, we know how key keeping the football is here. That fumble earlier probably at the forefront of his mind. Just hold on to this thing.
It's also at the forefront of the mind of the guys who are trying to get the ball from him. And since they've seen him drop it on the ground before, they're doing everything possible to have him do it again. They need that turnover.
And he's going to have a Rams 1st down, and he'll have it by plenty as they're able to keep the drive alive on 3rd and inches.
Well, it is our business to analyze what we saw out there, and on that play, I saw a defense staying in base, not taking a chance, not blitzing in a situation where they absolutely need the football back. That's either a case of overthinking it or not thinking it through.
If you do blitz, do you have to be careful about where you're coming from, or are you just coming from all angles?
You have to be careful about where you're coming from, obviously, but at this stage, you have to take a few chances as well.
Bennett. He'll dump this off to Akers. And he is out of bounds inside the 35. The battle in the trenches never more important than right now. This is 3rd and inches. They'll try and run for this with Akers. And he picks up the 1st before he's taken down at the 29. Give him the 3rd down conversion, 5 yards on the play. On On first down, they'll stay with Akers on the ground. And he's going to take this ahead for right around 3 yards, but no more than that. Second down. The recipe's pretty simple, I think, right? Just give your superstar the ball, continue to feed him.
Yeah, don't overthink this one, right? Make sure he's touching the football, but you're also counting on his intelligence in playing the game as well. If it's not there, don't force the run. Just make sure you hang on to the football and keep the clock ticking.
And brought down, but not before they get it inside the 10 to the 7. This is something you got to be wary of defensively. I mean, just because they're in the mode of trying to burn some clock doesn't mean they won't pass it. They got good yardage out of that one.
Yeah, and really, when you're looking at it, now they've got a fresh set of downs. Look for second down. If they want to take another shot and try and loosen things up, that'd be the time to do it.
So it's Rams football here as we get you reset. They've got it first and goal as they search for what could be a game-sealing touchdown. They'll run here with Akers. And he'll get into the end zone. Touchdown, Rams. Cam Akers taking it in from 7. And the Rams are starting to pull away in the fourth quarter of this Super Bowl. Extra point right down the middle. And his guys will take a 10-point lead. Brown now to kick it away after the touchdown. And he won't return this one. He'll go down to a knee, and they'll start at the 25. Allen and the Bills now. Down by 10. A minute 56 to go. They've come so far this year, but they need 2 quick scores late in this Super Bowl. And now a throw on first down there, but it's incomplete.
And now defense. Drill, the big key to me, make sure you understand your assignments, and anytime you get a chance to tackle someone in bounds, get them on the ground.
Here's Allen. A throw left sideline falls incomplete.
Back-to-back incompletions, but definitely 4-down territory. Time not on their side. I don't think they want to try and get the first down in 2 installments. I think they got to go and get it right here, right now.
To throw is Allen. He gets this complete to Diggs. And he is going to have the Bills first down
as they're able to get the third down conversion. Throwing, Allen. That's going to be knocked away and incomplete.
That was one they needed to connect on. They're down, but not quite out. So you have to figure, with under 2 minutes to play, they need to hit on something in very short order.
Allen. And the Rams got it. They bring him down. Now the Bills. To their timeouts as they'll talk it over here before what will be an important third down. Now Allen. And this is intercepted, and that should do it. And his crew will take over with a football at the 35-yard line. But with the points that we've seen scored, neither defense has been at their best, but these guys, they've been a little bit better, Charles, and a nice interception there.
Yeah, you're right about that, Brandon. Let's face it. It's not always how you start, it's how you finish, right? So maybe you have a rough game all the way along, but if you make a big play like that at the right time, it can make everything turn out just okay.
And able to break one tackle, but then quickly brought down. But a nice little gain. They'll come to the line, needing only 2 yards to gain the first here. On third down, here's a run by Akers. He's going to be a yard short. Needed 2, but only got 1. Fourth down.
So where'd all that running room that he had in the first half go? Because it looks like it's drying up a little bit here. Someone made some adjustments, it appears, at least on this drive.
They'll run for it with Akers. And he is going to have a Rams first down, and that should be the one that finishes this game off. Call it a gain of 11 yards, and that should just about do it. The fourth down run successful. Now they look to pay it off on first down. 5 points of contact necessary at this stage as they'll run on first down. And the Rams are going to be set up with a first and goal. He couldn't quite reach the chalk, but they'll have it at the 1-yard line.
A good chance now to put this game on ice. This is first and goal.
Akers looking for a signal, but none forthcoming. They stopped him shy of the goal line.
And now we'll get a timeout here. They're able to stop it with 1 second to go in this game.
Time for this one final knee to put a bow on this title bout. The Rams have won the Super Bowl, and they will get the Lombardi Trophy.
And when this moment comes, I think you look back at all the blood, sweat, and tears, the offseason, the workouts, training camp, week 1, 2, 3, all building up now to say you're a Super Bowl champion. It's worth it.
It certainly is, and rarely do we have a team that hoists the Lombardi Trophy that didn't have their share of bumps along the way, didn't have to face some adversity in the journey, and now they get to just enjoy it and revel in it. And all off season, they'll be signing their autographs with Super Bowl champion underneath it.
Never leave the house without the pack. Where my at? Take an L and try to double back. We ain't doing that. Say she mad, but I know it's cap. I've been through with that. Need someone to hype me up. hype me up. Need someone to hype me up. Hype me up. Hype me up. Need someone to hype me up. Hype me up. Hype me up. Need someone to hype me up. Hype me up. Hype me up. Hype me up. I ain't got it, but they hands to the ceiling. I ain't palm reading, but I got them in they feelings. Yeah. Vanilla ice, but I'm iced out chillin'. Was the good guy till they made me the villain. Was gonna get a room, but they gave me a villa. I got Game Sports Center. 20 bands for the dinner. 20 dips in a Sprinter. What's a 2 up, 2 up, 2 up, 2 up? Never been afraid to play my cards. What's a risk to a winner? Barely hang out with these days. What's a lame